Hello, family. I watched a video the other day of a wise man speaking, and his question was, how do you know the black man is important in the black neighborhoods and homes? He said, well, look around the neighborhood and homes. They're destroyed because there's no black man in them. Not only was he right, but it was facts, and that truth was heavy. If there was real men in the homes, wouldn't be no drug dealers standing on the corners, and wouldn't be no homosexuality going on, and wouldn't be kids being abused and molested, and wouldn't be neglected children. Go to any inner city and enter any impoverished neighborhood, and you will see. You think I'm lying? You're going to see black people on drugs, yellow tape, cops killing our men, women, and children. Answer me this, black people. How is it that there's hundreds of churches throughout the ghettos of America, but it's so much hell? Even Tupac said it back in the day in an interview I watched. He said if the church was really real, if really about it, they'll take all the homeless off the street and give them homes. But what Tupac didn't know is why would the Christian church open the doors to for homeless? Because the homeless don't got money to put in no collection plates. They don't want no homeless people attending the service or even lingering around the property. The homeless don't have money to offer. That's why the pork chop pastors won't take them in, Pop. The Christian church was set up to take, not to give. It was set up to destroy, not to help. Call me a liar. I want you to call me a liar. Then after you call me a liar, look around. Our people is in hell, man. Heaven and hell is a condition. The black man, the Hispanic man is in hell. And the white man, he's in heaven. I got another question for y'all, family. What do the Christian church and the liquor store have in common? They both are on every corner in the ghettos and are not helping our people. They both take the black dollar and they use it for their own gain. They're not helping but worsening the condition and the state of mind of black people today. The Bible says, surely oppression makes a wise man mad. So how on earth can you walk around and pass all this hell going on just to go sing and dance? Because that's all they doing in them churches, singing and dancing. That's the same thing the slaves was doing in the cotton fields to get over the hell they was going through. When Master was whipping them on the back and killing them. They were singing and dancing. We went from cotton fields to churches. From singing and dancing in the cotton fields to singing and dancing in the churches. That ain't what the Most High told us to do. That ain't what we supposed to do. The word church means to assemble. So you can have church in the middle of your own living room. It doesn't mean a brick building with a cross on top. You know, most of the people that's in these churches, they starting to wake up. These people, they leaving these churches. You look around and see what's going on. Well, all this chaos in the churches. Pastors killing people, sleeping with women, molesting kids. It's been going on for a while. Just now technology, people got the cameras and social media, Facebook have been going on. Just like when cops have been killing niggas. Back in the day, was no cameras. So when people was to try to tell, hey, yo, man, you hear about the story? Old boy got went to jail. The cops put some drugs on him. People be like, man, you lying, didn't do that. But now it's on cameras. See them doing it. They been doing it. That Mercedes-Benz pastor guy, they got a car note. They got to get paid. So pastors, he's getting mad about that. All these people waking up, finding their identity. They find out who they are. And they really want to serve the Most High. So they leaving the churches because the truth is not in the church. Now walk outside in the parking lot and see how many cars or what type of cars the congregation have. I bet they don't got no Mercedes-Benz like the pastor got. Most of them on a bus or they drive on Humpties. Matthew 10:6 says, but rather go to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. It didn't say set up shop on the corner and pass around 20 collection plates. You got to go in the streets and find the lost and heal the sick. You think the sick supposed to come to you? A real man of God wouldn't think that way. Half the time people are scared to walk in these churches, man, because of how nasty and wicked they are. The most wicked people I ever met in my life was Christians. I'm going to keep it real. Half the time, the homeless people don't got no money, or you don't got to be homeless. You could be somebody struggling. They don't got the money to get a pastor or put in a collection plate, but they're ashamed because they know they'll look at them, and pastor will look at them, and they'll be looking at them crazy. When everybody know you don't go in church and not put at least $1 or so in a collection plate. Our people don't even got that. They trying to live. They struggling. They trying to feed families. So only a destroyed and humane person can walk past all the destruction in the neighborhood and go sing and dance like they never seen it. You know what that is? That's a person that don't care about their own people. That's a person that don't care about their own people. That's a person that's destroyed. Excuse me. If the white man didn't care about the future of his own people, he wouldn't have stolen America from the natives and killed the natives and have it built on the backs of our people. The niggas that's living in America today. Black man, after you built up this country, the last thing he had you built was a prison so he can throw your ass in it. After slavery was forcibly abolished, he had no more need for you, black man. So he came up with a new scheme how to get paid off your labor, off your free labor, matter of fact. It's called prison. Why else do you think white people commit the most crimes, but niggas got the highest imprisonment rate? Think about that. After slavery was forcibly abolished, he had no more need for you. So he came up with a new scheme to get paid off your free labor, black man. And it's called prison. Why else do you think white people commit the most crimes, but niggas got the highest imprisonment rate? Notice I said forcibly abolished. Right now in schools, they teaching, or they been teaching in schools, that Lincoln freed the slaves. You know, that's how you gotta keep a good slave. They teaching, and they have been teaching, that Lincoln freed the slaves. Can you believe that? When Lincoln had slaves of his own. Now, how can a man that have slaves of his own free his slaves? It's even in the record that Lincoln even said out of his own mouth that he would save the Union if he could. If we don't know how slavery came about ending, it all came down to money. The South was making so much money off blood, sweat, and tears off our people, the North got jealous. Don't get it twisted. The North was never in the favor of the slave. They wasn't doing the best, they wasn't in the best interest for the slaves. It wasn't about no moral. It was about money. There's no morality in a white man. They have no morals. If that was the case, the slaves would have been forced to fight. They put the slaves on the front line so they can be the ones that die first. So with that being said, family, I got another question. I got something heavy to drop on y'all. And this gonna make a wise person think. I wonder how many of y'all gonna catch this. Family, do you know there is more black men, women, and children in prison than there was in slavery at a certain time? I'm gonna say it again. Because it shit heavy, right? Do you know that there's more black men, women, and children in prison than there was in slavery at a certain time? And I want to see how many of y'all can catch that. I'm going to let that marinate. Slavery was never abolished. Excuse me. Slavery was never abolished. It just told you what you want to hear. and say words to you that made you feel good, just like the Christian church do. That's how you keep a good slave. It's even in the Constitution that slavery was abolished except for imprisonment. Except for imprisonment. Underlined words. Now, why would they put something crazy like that in the American Constitution? Things to make you go, right? That's because the jail cells was built for blacks and Hispanics. That's the only reason. The white man didn't cause the destruction to other nations just so he can destruct his own. Just so he can imprison his own people. No. Don't be foolish. It's the reason why the forefathers plundered, raped, robbed, and murdered. Just so they can do what they're doing now. Walking around, waving a flag, all happy, no worries. Their forefathers did that. The prison was never built to put a white man in it. Why else do you think they commit crimes and not serve the time? To lynch niggas back in the day, they used to confess on the stands. They used to lynch niggas back in the day and confess on the stands that they did it. And guess what? All white jury found them not guilty. Can you believe it? A white cop can kill an unarmed black or Hispanic man during a traffic stop and blow his head off just because he reached for his license. Not only will they find him not guilty, they won't hold him accountable for his actions. But guess what? He's going to get paid vacation until it blows over. So the whole thing blows over and black people forget about what happened and go about their life. Most of the time they become millionaires, thousandaires from the support they get from fellow white people. Ask George Zimmerman. George Zimmerman didn't become rich because one person handed him a lump sum of money. No. Hundreds and hundreds of white devils donated money to him. Even had sponsors. I used to have the list of, the sponsors he had that donated, to his legal team. To this day, I don't buy certain stuff like certain tissues, and certain products I don't buy to this day because they supported Zimmerman. Hundreds of white people donated money to that man to honor and support him for killing a nigger walking around in his neighborhood with Skittles and iced tea. How can an injustice, inhumane person with a reprobate mind write the rules of society for a nation? For all black people talking about they're American, niggas, stop it. Wake up. You gotta have rights to be American. You have no rights. You gotta have rights to be an American. So no, you're not American. You have no rights in the justice system. You have no rights when you're pulled over. That's why they violate you and profile you and arrest you while driving black. You have no rights in the work field. That's why there's discrimination in the work field towards black and brown people. Let me ask you a question, family. When have you ever heard stories of white people crying their eyes out to the media about being profiled in a work field because of their skin color, or how they wear their hair, or how the way they talk, the way they dress? When have you heard the story? Send me one, please. I would love to see it. Whenever you heard the stories of a white person being shot in the head over a traffic stop, or being discriminated when they walk in a Gucci store? When? You can't even fathom. It's like imagining a cat kill a pit bull. You can't imagine something that would never happen. Being born in the land of your captivity don't make you an American. It just makes you a slave that's born in America. I'm going to say it again, in case you missed that. Being born in the land of your captivity don't make you an American. It just make you a slave that's born in America. If you don't believe it, ask your ancestors that picked cotton, got their backs whipped, watched their babies get fed to alligators, watched their sons, daughters, mothers, fathers get hung from trees and burnt alive while castrated. Got their bodies burned and struggle while dangling from trees. Ask them. If you think I'm lying, you have no rights, black man, black woman. If you did, you still wouldn't be marching in the streets for justice in 2020. Y'all been marching for over 60 years. Aren't your feet tired? Y'all been holding up picket signs in the air for over 60 years. Don't your back hurt? I think we long overdue for a full body massage. Your children, grandchildren, great grandchildren will be marching for justice. In 2060, you will be marching for justice. If we became robots 200 years from now, we'll be marching for justice in the streets. We will overcome. I can see this shit now. Shit crazy. Marching in the streets if you're robots. That's what happens when you live in the land of captivity among your enemy. That's what happens when you live in the captivity among your oppressor. I got a question for you. Do you see the gazelle living in the pride land with the lions? The lion is the gazelle enemy. The gazelle is the lion's food. What do the gazelle see, people, when he see the lion stalking them? Gazelle walking along with his babies. You see the lion stalking them. What do the gazelle do? Answer that. Do the gazelle go grab a picket sign and start marching and singing? We will overcome. No. They run for their life. The gazelle is smart enough to know that the lion is his natural enemy. And the lion would never see him as an equal. That's why the gazelle runs for its life when he sees the lion. Black man, black woman, you need to run for your life. You don't know what type of beast you're dealing with. You're dealing with a diabolical beast that hates you, hates your children, hates your woman. You would think the white man, if he had an ounce of humanity in him, he would leave black people alone, right? He would leave us alone. I mean, after stumping us in the ground for over 400 years, destroying us, stripping away our identity, our culture, you would think he would say, man, we destroyed these people for over 400 years, man. Let's leave them alone. We destroyed these people. Where they going to go? What they going to do? They don't know who they are. They don't got nothing. Let's leave them alone. We got a 400-year head start. Have you ever seen a cat kill a mouse? I mean, after the cat kills the mouse, he starts playing with it. Then eventually the cat leave it alone. He realized the mouse is dead. There's no fun in it. He walks away. He goes about his business. The white man is obsessed with us. He's obsessed with us. It's crazy. If a friend turn on you and tell you that they hate you, you still gonna mess with that friend? Excuse me. You're not gonna mess with that friend no more, right? You're gonna block their calls, delete them off Facebook, whatever social media you got them on. You're not gonna keep calling their phone, driving past their house, thinking about them 24/7. That's what the white man do to us. We on his mind 24/7. They act like they hate us, but they're really obsessed with us. They can't leave us alone. The obsession for us is mentally disturbing. It's beyond crazy. It is. The crazy part is that they can't help it. They love our culture. They love our culture, making money off you, but hate you at the same time. Hate you at the same time. Hate your people. The average white man don't want nothing to do with a nigga unless he can make money with him or make money off him. I'm gonna say that again. The average white man don't want nothing to do with a nigga unless he can make money off him or make money with him. Black people always want to talk about equality. Nigga, please. I'm gonna tell you something, especially these Christian pastors ain't gonna never tell you. And some weak, destroyed minds that's listening to this right now won't comprehend it. Probably won't even agree with it because they're destroyed. There is no such thing as equality. Say it again. There is no such thing as equality. Now, before you docile-minded people try to say, what? What? He gone too far now. What he talking about? Let me explain. If there's a such thing as equality, show me. Show me where equality is at. I got all night. It don't exist. Show me in what world that equality exists. The word world means age or society for you Christians that don't know what the word world means. The word world means age or society. The Old and New Testament of the Bible is written in Hebrew and Greek. So world in Greek means age or society. Now, knowing that, Black and Hispanic man, is your world the same as the white man world? Black woman, Hispanic woman, is your world the same as the white woman world? No, I think we all know that answer. No. White man don't gotta worry about being profiled while driving. Only time a white person gets stopped is when they actually doing something wrong. Whether they speeding or driving drunk like they always do. The white man don't get profiled when he walks in a Gucci store. Black man, you do. The white man gets the promotion on the job he don't deserve, while you still on the bottom slaving hard for years. And a new white guy comes and get the position you've been slaving for years. You've been at that job slaving for years. Been a good slave. Come early, stay late, breaking your back, shaving. Good clean shave, slave, every day. You got to tuck in your pride in your pants like you do your shirt. You do all that just so master don't think he got a rebellious slave. You be a good slave for him. Did the white man have his own government flood his community with guns and drugs? Do they worry about being treated different in schools? Being miseducated and undereducated? No, they don't have to worry about that. Do they kids come home and say, Mom, Dad, my teacher said my ponytail went against school policy and I can't come back to school until I cut it off or get a new hairstyle? No. I can go all day with these examples, man. I can go all day. Y'all read the stories. Y'all watch the videos going on. I don't gotta say too much. It's all over the media. You got YouTube. The white man have no worries when it comes to inequality. He have no worries. When he walk down the street, he have no worries. When he's driving down the street, he have no worries. When he walk in the store, he have no worries. Again, this nation was built for him, not to destroy him. So no, your world or society isn't the same as a white man, black woman, Hispanic man, Hispanic woman, native man, native woman. With that being said, I hope I didn't lose the main point what I was talking about earlier before I gave y'all a few of 1,000 examples I could have. Why the black man world is different from the white man world. I was talking about how there's no such thing as equality. So now that I broke that down, and I broke down what the world means, let's start using it to make my main point. And I don't mean to digress sometimes. Sometimes I gotta break down certain stuff or use certain examples to get my point out. Because I like people to understand instead of understanding me. So I don't deviate. I don't mean to deviate from the point. So we're talking about there's no such thing as equality, right, family? So let's get to it. There are different worlds, right? I explained that to you so you guys know where I'm coming from. There are different worlds. You have the animal world. You have the sea world. You have the human world. Is the sea world the same as the human world? No. Is the human world the same as the sea world? Is the animal world the same as the human world? Where's the equality in the animal world? Where's the equality in the sea world? Have you ever seen a food chain? How it works? Everything's in order? If there was equality in the animal world, the gazelle don't have to be running from the lion, like we talked about earlier. I just got done talking about that, the gazelle and the lion. We know what type of relationship they got. It's a predator and a prey. The lion wouldn't look at the gazelle as food, but as a friend if it was equality in the animal world. Let me ask you this. When have you ever went to the zoo or watched the Animal Planet and seen a lion chilling with a gazelle? They both just hanging out, watching Netflix, drinking some brews, having a good old time. No, you would never see it. In the sea world, everything has an order. The plankton eat the algae, the shrimp eat the plankton, the fish eat the shrimp, the bigger fish eat the smaller fish, and it keeps going and going. And it keeps going until they get to the king of the sea world. King of the sea world is what? The shark. Just like the lion is the king of the jungle, the shark is the king of the sea. You would never see a shark Netflix chilling with a sea lion. When a sea lion see that shark, what he doing? He breaking out. He swim for his life. Same thing as the insect world. There is no equality in any world. There'll always be the ones at the bottom, the ones at the top. Black people, what you don't know is you're supposed to be at the top. Look around. You see how special we is? They know we special. That's why they gotta keep their foot on our back. Look in arenas. Who's scoring all the touchdowns and scoring all the points in NBA? People in China, they listen to rap wearing Jordans. The Bible said we will be the trendsetters of the world. We're the trendsetters. Everybody want to be us. Everybody want to look like us. Everybody want to talk like us. You can't walk down the street, everybody saying nigga, nigga, nigga's that. We're the trendsetters. White men will never let you know, though, that you're the trendsetter and that you're the one that's supposed to be on top with him. He will never let you know that. You would never see the top living in the land of your captivity among your oppressor. You would never. Every nation has their own land so they can rise. Every nation has their own land. Every nation has their own land so they can rise, right? How can a black man rise in a land he was held captive in and terrorized in? Every nation has their own land with their own gods. Let me ask you this. If the Chinese got their land, their own land, known as China, their religion known as Buddhism, the white man got America, they got white Jesus, Christianity, the Arabs got Iran, their religion is Islam. What do niggas got? Where's the nigga land? Where's the nigga God? Where's the land for niggas? The Bible said we were destroyed for the lack of knowledge. That's why we don't know what language we spoke before we got thrown in them cargo slave ships. We don't know what food we ate. That's why we in the ground now of early age, just for them died alone, putting poison in our body. We don't know what type of clothes we wore. This is the outcome of over 400 years of captivity, destruction. The identity gets destroyed. Then we start calling ourselves colors and religion. Last time I checked, black is a color. It's not a nationality. If you call yourself African American, you name yourself after two white men. Say it again. If you call yourself African American, you're naming yourself after two white men. Africanus was the last name of a Roman general that invaded countries of Africa and named it after him. Africa is known as ancient Egypt. The word Egypt means bondage. After Africanus completed his conquest, he named, Africa after him. So what was then Egypt is what we know now today, called Africa. America got its name from Italian called Amerigo Vespucci. So when you call yourself, remember that when you call yourself African American, you're calling yourself after two white men that conquested and murdered among countries. Remember that. You can do your own research. Shit, call Google. You don't believe me? That's something that they ain't gonna teach your children in school. That's why you gotta do it, black man, black woman. Nobody ain't do it to you. That's why you don't know. Nobody ain't taught you that. That's why you don't know. They don't want you to know that. Like I said, go back to that's how you train a good slave. That's how you raise a good slave. Teach them lies. The white man is known for naming things after him after they conquer it. They're known for that. States, fish, stuff like that. The blacks name themselves African American. Let me ask y'all that. The Negroes in America named themselves African American. No, they didn't. Did your great grandparents tell their children as African American? No, they didn't. Who gave you that title? That's the question. So if your grandparents didn't give us that title, who gave us that title? You give up. Black people, since you've been living in America, you have 5 different identities, 5 different nationalities. I'm going to wait for a second and see if you can guess all 5. I'm going to wait for a second. Just think about it. Our first nationality that they gave us was nigger. This shit was legal. We went from nigger, then boy, then colored, then Negro. Then the last one they gave us was African American. They had to polish it up. Africa is a continent with different countries and different tribes. A lot of people don't even know that. So what country and tribe you come from, black man, black woman? What tribe do you belong to? You think you're going to find that out on Ancestry.com? They ain't going to tell you what tribe you come from. I'll tell you something about Africans. They know what tribe they come from. That's why when you ask them, they can tell you. They don't call themselves Africans. They know their history. They know we're not the same. To tell you the truth, most Africans hate niggas in America. I forgot the term, but I believe it's called kata or kaita. The term they use basically means like the American slave. Let me ask you another thing. Since we're so-called the same, right? Do you see Africans speaking up for the justice and the humane treatment that's done to niggas in America? When? Show me the clip. Do you see Africans marching in the streets with niggas? Picket signs. Do you see them getting pulled over and shot in the head? No. Because the white men know they're not y'all not the same. Africans don't even want you in their cabs. They don't even want you in their cabs. That's why they always got attitudes and talking crazy to you. The story behind Africans selling Africans is bullshit. Africans sold Jews, which fled to Africa. They sold Jews. After the Roman Empire invaded Israel and killed thousands of Jews, millions fled to Africa. Why? Because they looked like them. So they could hide out. The Jews lived in Africa for many years. They fled to Africa to escape Roman persecution. You think the Africans didn't know the Jews were living in their land? You think the Africans didn't know who that was? You think they didn't know who they were selling? They did. With that being said, where do we come from then? If we're not African, then where do we come from? What's our nationality? What language did we speak before we came to America? We can't answer that because we've been destroyed. Our history is in the Bible, but we don't want to read it to find out. We just want to sing and dance. Did the white man sing and dance when 9/11 happened and the Arabs supposedly flew the planes into the Twin Towers? Did the white man hug the Arabs and say, I forgive you? No, he didn't. He didn't go to over there, Middle East, to find a person that was held responsible. The U.S. Army went over there and killed hundreds of thousands, women, men, and kids. No one was spared. They dropped hundreds of bombs on them. Hundreds of bombs on them. How can you say forget the white man and talk black pride and turn around and celebrate the white man feast days and holidays? You got to come out and stop celebrating these holidays, man. It's just wicked. See, the thing is, black man, Hispanic man, you don't know what you're celebrating. That's why you're doing it. Half the time, you're so wicked that even somebody try to tell you, you don't care. That's because you serve yourself. You don't serve God. If they knew the holidays they were celebrating was evil, they wouldn't take part in it. Well, at least the ones that want to be saved from their enemies do. No American holiday was ordained by the Most High. That's why you can't find it in the Bible. God said he despised your feast days. He said that because they were wicked and it wasn't ordained by him. Crazy things, a lot of our people already know the true history about these holidays and they still take part in it. Why? Because they worship themselves. They also love being a good slave. A good slave is going to do everything master do. He's going to teach master religion to his children. He's going to teach master holidays to his children. He's going to follow the ways of master in every way, every aspect of life. That what happens when you live in a land of captivity. You adopt the ways of your oppressor after your identity has been stripped. And that's how you create a born-again slave. Crazy, right? That shit heavy, bro. For real. Hey, another heavy point that I wanted to add about that Africa stuff that I forgot to mention. So I'm about to play devil's advocate, right? I'm about to play devil's advocate. So if Africans sold other Africans to the Europeans, right? Say that happened, right? Besides Africans selling Africans, name me other nations that sold their people to another nation. I'll repeat it again. Name me other nations that sold their people to another nation. I'll wait. Show me where Germans sold Germans to Chinese. Show me where Chinese sold Chinese to Arabs. Show me where Arabs sold Arabs to Spaniards. I can go on and on. Show me it. It never happened. Now, for you Bible toters out there, Jeremiah 10:2 tells us, learn not the way of the heathen and not be dismayed, which means confused at the signs of heaven. So example, that scripture would be not to follow your oppressor wicked holidays, like Thanksgiving and Christmas, and be confused that it was the righteous holiday or it was ordained by God. Like I said, Most High say he despised your feast days. James 4:4 says, whosoever be a friend of the world is an enemy of God. 1 John 2:15 says, love not the world, neither the things that's in the world. So we have to separate from the wicked ways of this nation. Just from a moral aspect, why would you want to celebrate the holidays with the ones that lynch you from trees, fed your babies to alligators, cut the fetuses out your woman wombs while they hung from trees, and stumped their fetuses' heads in the ground with the boots, with the heels of the boots? The thing is, black man, Hispanic man, if you knew the history of Christmas, you wouldn't celebrate it. The problem with our people is that we want to celebrate holidays that's ordained by our oppressor and not ordained by God. That's why we still in hell right now. We following the way of the heathen instead of following God. Now, one Christian can tell me how many holidays are in the Bible. How many holy days are in the Bible, matter of fact. Holy days. What are the holy days in the Bible? Not one. Because you know how I know? You know how I know? Because they celebrate the holidays of the white man instead of the holy days of the Bible. Crazy, right? What are the holidays that's in the Bible that we're supposed to keep? Where are the holy days in the Bible that we're supposed to keep? I'll give you a hint. Christmas, 4th of July, Easter, Thanksgiving, Valentine's Day, is it in the Bible? So it ain't those. We just read where it says, follow not the way of the heathen. And all these American holidays that you celebrate every year was created by the heathens. Do you know the Bible tells us not to celebrate Christmas? Do you know that? I bet you don't know that. I bet your pastor don't know that. Some of them do, but he ain't gonna tell you. Ask your pastor, say, Pastor, when you go to church Sunday, even though you ain't supposed to be going to church Sunday, it ain't the Sabbath. Sabbath is Saturday. When you go to church Sunday, ask him, say, Pastor, why you ain't tell me that Christmas is in the Bible and that the Bible tells us not to celebrate it? Ask him that. Tell him to read Jeremiah 10, verse 3 and 5. 3 to 5. Most High tell you not to celebrate it. But most of y'all still read it and still put up a Christmas tree because you're destroyed. You're destroyed. It's the reason why the Bible tells us not to celebrate it. Because it's a wicked holiday. Like I said, if you knew what it was, you wouldn't do it. If you knew better, black man, you would do better. If you knew better, black woman, you would do better. So if you don't know anything about Christmas, I'm going to tell you history of it now that I already told you about where you can find that in the Bible. So let me tell you about the history of it. Christmas comes from the story of Nimrod. That was the original celebration of December 25th. December 25th was Nimrod's birthday. When Nimrod died, his mother, which was also his wife, he married his mother. When Nimrod died, she viewed him as a god, so she used the tree to represent where his spirit lived. So they started celebrating the tree every year. Every December 25th, which was Nimrod's birthday, they celebrated. They cut a tree up, pine tree, hung it up, decorated it. She made sure people brought gifts to honor his spirit in the tree. So black people, every time you put a tree up, you celebrate the spirit of Nimrod. Every time you get on your knees to place gifts under the tree, you honoring the spirit of Nimrod. Ephesians 2:8 tells you don't let man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit, after tradition of man, after the rudiments in the world, and not after Christ. Think about it, black man, black woman. It's time to start hitting that snooze button and wake up. We've been asleep too long. Y'all sleeping like the damn thing. It's time to wake up. Now, another thing I want to add before I end this video was talking about why a pastor wouldn't show you Christmas in the Bible. Do you know why he wouldn't show you that? That because if your pastor show you that, that means he would have to give up his Christmas tithes, his Christmas donation, his Christmas offering, his Christmas service. You know how much money he'll make? Matter of fact, you know how much money he'll lose if he'll tell you that? No. Like I said, we all know the Christian church is about. It's a hustle. It's a hustle. That's all it is. So he's not in the business to lose money. He's in the business to gain money. So he's not going to tell you that to lose money. Also, we talked about Christmas, right? That's coming up, which hundreds of millions of people about to celebrate. Thousands of people, a black man, Hispanic woman, millions of black man, Hispanic man won't celebrate it, right? Probably even the ones that's listening to this shit right now. We talked about Christmas, the history of it, where you can find that in the Bible. But I didn't get to Thanksgiving. Why it's wicked. I mean, a lot of black people just celebrated it, just passed. For a moral standpoint, you know the history of Thanksgiving, right? Killed the natives, took their land. So, if you know the history of Thanksgiving, what it's about, why are you celebrating it? You know, how would you feel if Donald Trump made a holiday about black people being in slavery and named it something, and white people celebrate it every year? You'll be mad, right? You'll be marching in the street, marching. Here we go again with the picket signs. We shall overcome. Y'all want to kick Donald Trump ass, but no. Every last Thursday of November, you gotta go eat some turkey and dressing, celebrating the destruction of Native Indians. We're walking on the bones of Native Indians right now, but you want to eat some fucking turkey and dressing. You inhumane. Thanksgiving is a wicked holiday, and if you celebrate and take part in it, you are wicked too. You ain't no different from a white man. Because I just sit there and told you that if Donald Trump made a holiday about destruction of black man and about slavery, you will be mad. Oh, I forgot what. I guess it ain't your people. You don't care, right? You got to eat. Another reason because of gluttony, which is a sin. Gluttony it means just, more of something, no matter if it's food or money. It's about how much food you can put in your belly. How much cake and pie you can eat, which is why we're in the ground now. Why black people got diabetes, why we're destroyed. It's a vain custom. Vain custom. It's about who house we gonna go over. Who make the best dressing. Who make the best turkey. Oh, I'm not going over our house, she can't cook. No, she burnt the food last year. She can't cook that. That's all it's about being vain. And every year, somebody fighting, getting shot, getting killed. No matter if it's Thanksgiving or Christmas. That was supposed to be the holiday of spreading cheer. And at the end of the day, niggas still getting locked up and getting killed in the streets. I guess we can turn deaf ear to that for one day, huh? Then the next day, go back to the same hell and destruction. That's how you want to live. Thanksgiving is a vain custom. Gluttony. The moral aspect of it. The Bible says, who turned the truth into the lie? Who turned the truth into a lie? Who told you that Thanksgiving went from killing the natives to celebrating holidays? Who told you that? The Most High tell you that? I got even a better question for you. I got a better question for you, black man, black woman, Hispanic man, Hispanic woman. Do you think that Thanksgiving was ordained by God, by the Most High? Do you think when you around your kitchen table eating, that the Most High looking down, smiling? No, he's not. Like I said, you got to be an immoral person to celebrate the destruction of the Native, Americans, which are related to black people. They are brothers. That's all it's about. Who house you can go over. How much liquor can I drink? How much food can I eat? I want to stuff my belly like a fucking pig. That's all it's about. You serving yourself Thanksgiving. You serving yourself. I'm going to eat till I drop. That's wicked. That ain't holy. That ain't righteous. That's wicked. You ain't no different from a pig that don't know when to stop eating. On Thanksgiving, black man, you're no different than a pig that don't know when to stop eating. A pig don't know when to stop eating. So with that said, that concludes the part 1 to this video. Hope y'all take heed.